What's going on, guys? Boy Joey 672 coming to you guys with a video right now. So, all the owners, the GMs, all the NFL owners of every team pretty much meet up at a meeting every year in Arizona. I think it was in, I don't know if it was in, I think it was in the same spot pretty much last year, but everyone was in a meeting this year. So Harry Roseman had a press conference today, which he talked about a lot of things. He talked about what he has done for free agency, which we all know what happened, so I'll skip through that part. But there's two things I want to talk about. He talked about Carson Wentz, and he talked about these running backs. So I'm going to go over what he said word by word about the running backs. So Howie Roseman says, the three running backs who played in the Super Bowl were all guys we acquired after the 2017 NFL Draft. The talent acquisition period continues to go, Roseman said. We want to have the best possible team. We are going to look into everything. That is our job. And at the same time, we have to grow and develop our young players. We are excited about these guys. Corey, a guy that was a huge part of the Super Bowl winning team and our Super Bowl win. Josh Adams showed flashes and what he can do. Obviously, those guys coming off off-season injuries, and a big part of that is getting them back and getting them part of the program. That jump for Josh from year 1 to year 2 is big for Corey. From year 2 to year 3, you also talk about Wendell. When he has been called to play, he has been a solid player. We got a guy in Boston Scott off the practice squad of the Saints who has tools in his body and traits to develop. There are players there, but at the same time, we are always looking to improve the team. I didn't hear Darren Sproles' name in this, which could mean a lot of things. You already have discussions where Jay Ajayi might be coming back to the Eagles, and then the Eagles are going to go draft a running back. And then Darren Sproles is still out there. Is he going to be an Eagle too, just for special teams, for punt returns? And then on top of that, you're going to keep Josh Adams, Wendell Smallwood, Boston Scott. I mean, all these guys, there are a lot of running backs right now. Howie Roseman seems like he likes the group that we have. Every player brings something different to the table. Okay, Boston Scott is another guy we got from the Saints practice squad. Hasn't really done too much. He had one little good kick return, I think, during the playoffs, or I forgot what game it was. But there are a lot of things that the Eagles need to. I mean, they have a plan in motion. I could already see it now. They kind of like the young guys. And I know that this question I know that he answered all of this about all these running backs because someone must have asked a question to him that, you know, why didn't you go after a running back in free agency? Are you going to get a running back? You know what I mean? But he's not going to tell anybody anything, of course. But this is why did the Eagles not go after Le'Veon Bell? Why did the Eagles not go over Tevin Coleman? That was a cheap deal. Jay Ajayi is in close discussions with the Eagles that may be coming back for 1 year. You know what I mean? Then you're going to go draft a running back. And then on top of Sproles is still not knowing if he's going to retire or he's just going to, you know, come back for 1 more year like he said last year. So there are a lot of things with that, okay? And I don't know if I know Howie has a plan, but I just don't know how many guys can you really keep here. And if you let's just say you put Josh Adams on the practice squad, he'll probably get taken off waivers. He'll probably go to another team, most likely, just because now there's tape on Josh Adams. Josh Adams has a lot of tape now because he had 3 or 4 good games. And then after that, he just disappeared after that. Boston Scott, barely anything. Just a special teamer right now. We had him in the backfield. I don't even know if we even have him in the backfield at all. And then Wendell Smallwood. If you put Wendell Smallwood on the practice squad, he'll go through. He will get taken. I mean, he will go to another team as a backup running back. No, there's no doubt about that. Wendell Smallwood will be gone because I think Wendell Smallwood has really developed very nice being here with us. I don't think I like Wendell Smallwood. I didn't think he was going to be on the team this year, and he looks faster. He looks like more of a pass catching. He looks like an all around pretty good running back. Okay, he has developed very nicely for us. And then Corey Clement, you know, coming off an injury, and Corey Clement, you know, a guy that was, you know, undrafted, and you know what I mean, a guy that just hasn't, you know, that wasn't a known running back catching out of the backfield, and we turned him into something special. And if Darren Sproles didn't get hurt in 2017, we might have not even known what Corey Clement can even do on the field. to be honest with you, if Sproles didn't get hurt, we wouldn't see much of Corey Clement at all. And I'm really glad that we have. I'm glad that we could Super Bowl. I mean, 100 yards receiving is pretty damn good. He had a very good game, but had really good games this year. So what can I take from all this? Howard Roseman talking about the running backs. He likes all the guys, and he's good with the young guys. But like he said in his press conference, room to improve. We're always looking to improve the team. So you never know what's going to happen. I think J.J. is going to be a Philadelphia Eagle. And then the running back room is going to be competition in this running back room this year during training camp and in the preseason games. I'm not worried about no-name somebody coming from the practice squad. They're not going to, no one, this is a set in stone running back room where you know the 5 guys that are going to be, you know, in competition with each other. Whoever we draft is who we draft, and Howie is going to get somebody in the second round no matter what. So another thing that Howie talked about too in the press conference was Carson Wentz and his extension. Oh, we knew there was going to be some news about that. So, okay, so this is what Howie Roseman said about Carson Wentz and this extension. So, we have to be realistic about the fact that we have a quarterback we want to pay and we want to extend long term, and how we are going to build our team with that player, which is exciting for us. Roseman said, we want to have a team led by a franchise type of quarterback. We know that we have that in Carson Wentz. Going into free agency, it was very important for us to stay true to our beliefs at the O-line, the D-line, getting an opportunity to get Ronald Darby back, looking at getting playmakers for our quarterback. So not only does Howie Roseman want Carson Wentz as the franchise QB, and it sounds like they're going to pay Carson Wentz, not right now, not in this offseason of 2019. Next year in 2020, I expect a big payday for Carson Wentz, depending on what it is. And the Eagles know that. Okay, so I'm not saying that the Eagles are going to spend all their cap or most of their cap and leaving them stranded for next year, where we have to make 1 million moves to create space for Wentz. Not saying that he can't make any more moves. I'm just saying that we're not going to be doing this like we were over the cap this year. And I don't think we'll be over the cap this year at all, which would be good. So, and we'll have a lot of draft picks next year. But Howie Roseman sees a lot in Carson Wentz. I know we see a lot of Carson Wentz, but not the Carson Wentz from this year, the 2017 Carson Wentz. Okay? He shouldn't have played. Period. Shouldn't have come back, shouldn't have played. He should have just let Nick Foles take it from week 1. I understand Nick Foles did start beginning of the year, and then, you know, Carson came back, and then it was just a nightmare. He shouldn't have came in. He had the back fracture for several weeks, and nobody knew about it. I don't know if he knew about it, but apparently, I don't know. I don't know what's going on with that. But Carson Wentz is going to get paid. And honestly, I don't know if Howie Roseman's going to say the same thing this year if he plays like crap. I hope he doesn't play like crap. I don't think he's going to. I think with a whole offseason, no rehab, none of that rehab, he is going to avenge the league. He's going to avenge himself into the league and show everybody what kind of a quarterback he is. And he has got, and then Howie Roseman talked about the weapons. He's got weapons. He's got more weapons than he had last year. Now he's got a legitimate deep threat in Deshaun Jackson. And at the running back spot, he's going to have some running backs behind him as well. J.J. might be one of them. Whoever we draft in this draft, whether it's Josh Jacobs, Miles Sanders, it could be Henderson, anybody. At this point, it doesn't even matter to me. Carson's going to have a lot around him. A lot of pressures on Carson Wentz this year. But Howie Roseman, I learned a lot of things from Howie Roseman today. Number 1, he's always looking to improve the team. Number 2, he has faith in Carson Wentz, and so should we. Number 3, these running backs, he doesn't care who's in there. He likes every running back that we do have and knows that Each one of them can put us in a good position in a football game. That there's not one guy. Honestly, to be honest, besides Boston Scott, because we really don't know what he could really do. I know he's like a Darren Sproles type running back. Other than that, I know what Josh Adams brings to the table. I know what Wendell Smallwood brings to the table, and he brings a lot. Corey Clement, we all know what he brings to the table. And whoever we draft, we're going to know what they bring to the table as well. So, a lot of things going on. We're going to see in the coming weeks what happens, but this is my take on what happened in the Howie Roseman press conference today. Any questions, let me know. Leave comments in the comment section about what you think about all this. I will see you guys later. Shea squad up. Fly, fly.